I was just standing here thinking on this very windy day, there are lots of good reasons why Brea is such a great place to be. But did you know that one of them, at least for me, is that you can drive around almost everywhere in the city and see a piece of art sculpture. I know these sculptures belong to the Art in Public Places program, but I didn't know too much about the history of that program until I started to do some research and to ask a few questions. And what I found out is that the program began in 1975 when Brea was a much different place than it is today. The old downtown was then still a place where people did some of their shopping. The Brea Welcome to sign stretched over the boulevard. The Brea Mall was about to start construction. And city manager Wayne Woodeen came up with this great idea to make all of Brea one big art gallery. Developers of commercial, industrial, and residential projects of a certain value had to provide and install a piece of permanent sculpture somewhere in their property in public view. In 1976, the very first piece was installed here in the corner of Lambert and Associated. In fact, it's that piece right there behind me. It's called The Birds, and it's supposed to represent the red-tailed hawks that you often see soaring around this part of Brea. Like I said, this was the first piece, and I always wanted to know what the first piece was. But I know that other people have other questions about other sculptures in Brea, so I thought it might be kind of interesting to see what some of those questions are.
Which one's the tallest piece?
Oh, the tallest. It's right there behind me here in the corner of Kramer and Imperial. It's called Heat Exchanger, and it's 30 feet tall, weighs 4,000 pounds, and was made by a man named Harold Pistorius, who, by the way, has done 11 other sculptures in Brea, more than any other person.
Which one is the smallest?
Well, the smallest piece is this one. It's called Alessandro. It's made of marble and bronze, and it's supposed to represent a face that's kind of been stretched out. It's right here in the planter in front of the Woodfin Suites, near the intersection of Imperial and Saturn.
Which one's the most expensive?
Good question. It's right here in the Brea Mall in that fountain. It's called La Lune, and it's supposed to represent the 18th card of the tarot deck. The dog stands for domesticity, the wolf for the wild, the lobster the sea, and the moon up above stands for man's highest achievement. It's one of the pieces in the collection I like best, probably because it's in water and because it's so different. But how about we take a short survey to see what the favorite sculptures are of 5 people you just might recognize.
Water power here at Brea Union Plaza is one of my favorites. It depicts children at play with a hose and in a fountain, and it just shows a happy time, and it shows them enjoying themselves. There are so many other pieces, but this one ranks as one of my favorites.
My favorite Art in Public Places piece is The Spirit of Life by John Kennedy. And I just really love this piece because it shows the connection between a mother or father and their child, and just fun and play. And to me, that's what this community is all about. It's a family place, it's a fun place, and it just is something that my heart loves, and that's why I picked it.
My favorite piece in the Art in Public Places program is behind me right now. It's Crystal at Christ Lutheran Church. It symbolizes my Christian faith and the faith of the members here at the church. It also has allowed me to meet the artist Carlos Perez, the resident artist in Brea, and I have become friends with him as we visited him in his home in our sister city, Lagos de Moreno.
My favorite piece is Breaking Free by Martin Barrow. Martin was our artist in residence back in 1990. And why I like this piece is I used to work and live on Birch Street back in the 90s, and I used to go by here every single day. And I'd stop and I'd watch him. I work with marble, and the way he took this block of Carrara marble and chipped it away and fabricated it into such a beautiful piece, I find spectacular.
Favorite piece is the eagle here. It signifies a lot of things, especially since 9/11. It has even greater significance. It signifies American pride. It also represents the freedoms that we enjoy as a nation, and the lifestyle we enjoy as Breans. There are a lot of fine artworks here in Brea, but this one, as a result of 9/11, will continue to grow in significance for me. And I believe it really represents the American spirit and the Brean spirit.
I've always really liked this piece called Kim Olympic Rhythms at the corner of Imperial and Berry in front of the Mercury Insurance Building. I don't know why I like it, but I do. It was sculpted by Natalie Kroll and is supposed to represent rhythmic gymnastics, which was a brand new event in the 1984 Olympics. So now you know a little bit about the Art in Public Places program, and you also know my favorite piece. But that may change, because there are new pieces going in every year that I can choose from. So be on the lookout for those pieces, because you never know where they're going to pop up. For this Did You Know segment of Video Brailleline, I'm Brian Saul. Well, here we are back in the present again. We've gone a lot of places, we've seen a lot, and we've done a lot. And I was right, wasn't I? We do have an interesting history. For over 100 years, back there in the valley behind me, Bray has always been a terrific place to live, no matter what the decade. And I'll bet you, after another 100 years have passed, it will still be a great place. So, for the very last time, and for Video Brailleline, I'm Brian Saul.